What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod and welcome to another episode of Yugioh Chat, my weekly podcast type series where I take a look at everything that's happened throughout the week relating to Yu-Gi-Oh! And give my thoughts upon it. I'm sorry if my voice is a little straggly, I think I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold once again. Hopefully that'll pass soon. But anyways, let's get on to the Yu-Gi-Oh! News. And of course, the biggest thing that's happened this week is that Konami decided to drop the brand new Forbidden/Limited list here in the TCG that goes into effect starting on November 9th. Now, I've already made a video giving my initial thoughts and reactions to the actual ban list, but now that a couple days have passed and we've had time to kind of let the dust settle, I want to talk about my impressions that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community really has about this list. Now, there are some vast polarizing differences in views that a lot of the player base has. Some people seem to really dig that Konami really took the ban hammer to a lot of decks, while there's also a great many number of duelists out there who seem to really dislike this idea. Not to mention there are those who like Exocon Knight being banned, and then there are those that just can't fathom the reasoning behind it. Now, I was watching Mega Capital G's video on the subject, and he talked about how he really felt that Exocon Knight really did deserve to be placed on the ban list. That all it really does is reward bad players for being able to top deck well. And although I can kind of concede that point that sometimes it does allow someone who totally misplayed every step of the way to mount some kind of comeback. However, sometimes you play your deck and the cards that you draw to the most optimum ability that they're able to do so, but sometimes your opponent also has the perfect counter to every one of your plays. And it's not like you misplayed or did something you shouldn't have, they just had the answers and were able to build up advantage faster than you. And I don't think that should be something that you should never be able to come back from. Exocon Knight is one of those type of cards that really allows you to believe in the heart of the cards, that you can top deck that one card that will actually get you back in the game. Now, I know Exocon Knight is not a card that you can actually top deck, but you can top deck another card that will get you to Exocon Knight. And I think being able to come back from overwhelming odds within the game is one of the reasons why so many duelists really love playing this game. So personally, I still don't think Exocon Knight should have been banned. As for those who are out there who believe that Konami just hit too many decks, I really don't think people should be that surprised by it. Usually every autumn type list that we get that normally goes into effect either September or October, or in this case in November, has massive changes to it. Konami always does kind of like a clearing house around this time. Personally, I'm kind of excited to see some of these decks shelved to make way for newer archetypes, or maybe even more innovative builds of the ones that got the hammer dropped on them. Overall, I think it's a pretty decent list, probably one of the more better ones that we've seen lately. Now, also earlier in the week, Konami revealed the 2016 Regional Qualifier Play Mat, which would feature the Black Luster Soldier archetype upon it. I personally think the play mat looks pretty damn good, and hopefully I'll be able to win one for the upcoming 2016 season. Finally, for the news this week, I want to talk about the YugiTuber Grand Championship 2016 Autumn Qualifier. Now, I actually had Simo guest star on this series a couple weeks back where he briefly mentioned a little bit about the qualifiers. So for those of you guys who don't know, last year I participated in a 32-person YugiTuber tournament. It was, of course, hosted by the man Simo himself, and he did a questionnaire asking his subscribers on different things they would like to see to improve that tournament for the following year. And one of the most overwhelming things that they said is they wanted an opportunity to participate in that 32-person tournament themselves, to have the chance to go up against a bunch of the channels that they are subscribed to. So Simo put together 3 different qualifying tournaments. Now, we've already had the Summer Qualifier, we're going into the Autumn Qualifier now, and eventually there will be a Winter Qualifier as well. So good luck to everyone who's participating. Next up, I want to do a little bit of the Q&A questions that my subscribers left for me. Starting off with CFC Blue 8, who asked, will you be going to the YCS in San Jose? Now, unfortunately, I'm not able to attend the event. I definitely wish I would have been able to make this one. I know there's a lot of my friends that are going to be going, and a lot of the YugiTubers that I'm hoping to meet up with once again, but I just couldn't get the time off away from work, and I haven't really been playing too much in the current meta. So because of that, I don't think I would have done too well at the event anyways. I'm sure eventually they're going to have another big one out here in Southern California, or maybe Nevada, or someplace close to me, and I will definitely be attending those. But as for the YCS in San Jose, unfortunately, it was not in the cards for me. Next up, Joshua asks, hey GalacticGod, do you think Dark Magician of Chaos will make a return from being banned? Now, we've already seen over in the OCG that Dark Magician was brought back to them after it was errata. Unfortunately, over here, we still have not gotten that card reprinted with its errata text. So if Konami follows suits with the same way that they did the last batch of cards that got errata, once they reprint Dark Magician of Chaos with that revised text, we should see it come off the following ban list. So the real question is, when will Dark Magician of Chaos finally get another reprint? Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be doing another Gold Series set anytime soon, but if they are, that's where I'd put my money on when it would get reprinted. Now, the final question for this video comes from No Wired Gaming, who asks, "Hey GalacticGod, what do you use for editing?" The main program that I actually use is Sony Vegas. I use it for just about all my discussion videos, a good portion of my duel videos, and everything from the Did You Know series to the top 5 videos that I produce. It's a very easy program to learn and maneuver through, and I highly suggest anyone who is interested in getting better at editing to get a copy of it and watch a few tutorial videos up on YouTube to better learn how to use it. Another program that I like to dabble in from time to time is Adobe After Effects. This is usually what I use to produce a lot of the intros that you see up here on my channel, as well as a lot of the special effects that I use within different videos of mine. It is a much more complicated program to learn and maneuver through, but on the flip side, it has a great deal many more features at your disposal to use. Alright, I think that's going to about do it for this week's episode. Remember, if you guys have any questions you wish me to answer, whether it be about Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugitubing, or my life in general, leave them down in the comment section below, and I'm going to try and answer a few of them in next week's video. And I guess that's about all the Yu-Gi-Oh I got for you this week. This is GalacticGod, out.